Hey, good morning. It's Patrick the Okie Shaver. Want to share another shave with y'all. I've had this set for a little while now, and I've kind of been setting with it, trying to figure it out, and it's not an easy one for me. I wouldn't say this is a review, but I'm going to tell you what I get out of it, so maybe it kind of is. But what we're going to be using today is from the Cajun blade. Nepeek, I think is kind of how you would pronounce it, and that's probably not right. But I've had this for a while, and it's a Bayou aquatic, is what Eric calls it. And I'll show you what else we'll be using. This is a brush that Timothy Abernathy. I don't know if he cut this on a lathe or if he did it with a grinder. I don't know. But I traded for it a few weeks ago from a buddy of mine over in Tennessee. I had a razor he wanted, and we traded this brush and some money or something. I don't remember exactly. But Thomas Killian, thank you, buddy, if you watch. We'll be using that brush. And we've got the Cajun blade Bayou butter, which is a pre-shave and lather booster. This is a Boker in 6/8 is what it is. And a buddy of mine, Jack Bridges, who does most of my honing. I'm trying to get into honing myself, and it's proven not to be the easiest thing. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not so good. But I think I found this razor, and maybe he found it for me. I don't remember exactly where the blade came from, but the rest of it was trash. So he made the scales and the wedge, and he called it the Black Widow because it has the red spacer there in there. But I traded a razor that he really wanted, and he sent me this one back. I'd sent it back to him when I quit straight razor shaving, but he sent me 3 razors, I think, for the razor that I wanted. So I was more than thrilled to get this one back, and then the other 2 are pretty good shavers also. If I were a better straight razor shaver, they'd be awesome, but I'm not. But just some thoughts before I get into this about Nepeek. Like I said, it's and I did write this stuff down because I forget it all the time, everything most of the time. Nepeek is a Bayou aquatic, and the scent notes are cypress, bright neroli, humid green woods, smoky Palo Santo, soft Spanish moss, blue lotus, and cool damp earth. And he wanted it to convey the compact Bayou waters, cool morning air, moss-covered timber, and the quiet atmospheric depth of the South. And I wrote that it's not tropical by any means. It's not in what you would call an aquatic with the salt water and that sort of thing. It's not a traditional aquatic, I guess. The soap and the splash, they complement and work perfectly together, but you don't get all the scent from the soap that you do out of the splash, if that makes any sense. It probably doesn't. They have the same scent, but they don't have the same scent per se, which you'd have to smell it to know what I'm talking about. They're very similar and complementary. And with the soap, I get the damp woods, the petrichor, I think is what I heard somebody explain it as. And to me, the splash, someone asked me the other day on the Discord what it was like. And if you've used Eric soaps, the soap is outstanding. The slickness, whatever you want out of soap, it's there. But the scent is not prevalent in the soap. There's so much good stuff in the soap that I think it covers up the actual scent of that you would get out of the splash. I don't know if that makes any sense or not. They're complementary, but they're not quite the same. But I said the splash is like it's a well-known EDT or a cologne or EDP. It's a classic, but you've not tried it before, and it's his splashes. I've only got 2. I have Pintail and I have Nepeek, and to me they are what would I say? They're fancy, but that's too plain a word. They're complex, and to me, the scent notes are just now, I've used it for a few weeks and it's just now starting to stand out where I can pick out the scent notes. It takes me a while. So I'll shut up and we'll get on with this. And if I made any sense, yay. If I've not, you're welcome. So anyways, let's get on with the shave and yeah. To me, the soap is outstanding, but it's the same but not. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way. And I've had some soaps that don't smell the same as the Splash or Splash as the soap, and it wasn't the best. I don't know. I don't want to make anyone mad or anything like that. That's not what I'm intending to do. I don't know. I should probably shut up. That's probably what I should do. But I enjoy this scent so much. I was on the fence for a while. You know, I didn't know if I wanted the whole set, and I kept waiting for he has things called a gentleman's set, and I have Pintail then gentleman's set, which is smaller. It's like 2 ounces of each soap and Splash. And I went ahead and got this. I'm glad I did because it's pretty nice. That's going to be way too much, but it's going to be fine. So anyways, hope y'all are doing well. And you've had a good week and all that stuff. My wife's grandmother has been here for 2 weeks. She's not doing well physically. They're actually out of the house right now. They went to Hobby Lobby and I'll probably have to file bankruptcy by the time they get back, but we're not getting a lot of support from the family, but she lives by herself down in it's Muskogee County, but it's Weber's Falls is where she lives. She doesn't need to be by herself right now. And her, I won't say any more about that. I wanted to say something about the support we're not getting from the family, but that doesn't really matter. But my wife is fixing to go back to work. She teaches kindergarten in a public school. And so she's a couple weeks from going back. And we've got to have some kind of something to stay with her, help her do things, just make sure that she can get up out of bed, go to the restroom. She has a mass in her stomach, and I'm sharing way too much, but it's kind of on my mind. And she has a mass in her stomach, and she's really stubborn, and we don't know what that mass is. Don't know exactly where it's located. I don't. I'm sure that my wife probably does. But we don't know what that is, and she won't let him do a colonoscopy, and she says that she's going home tomorrow, and I don't know that that's the case. She's 95, if I didn't say that already, so very much set in her ways. So enough about that. I hope things are going well at your house. And it's not that it's not going well, it's just that we don't know where to go from here, to be quite honest. All right, here we go. All right, first pass. This is just 24 hours grow, a little over 24 hours. I shaved yesterday morning about 5:30. And you know how, back to the soap. You know how if you crack open say a Phoenix Artisan or a Sterling soap, I mean, it's you smell the entire scent right there. And to me, the Cajun Blade Eric stuff is not quite that way. And maybe I'm the only one that feels that way. This is probably my favorite straight razor I've ever owned. Here we go, let's lather up for pass 2. Making a mess. Add some more water. Here we go, pass 2. I know somebody south of me shooting, it sounds like. All right, past 2. I wish I'd have thought I would have gathered some stuff for a giveaway, but I didn't. All right, left up for past 3. Feeling good so far. Yeah, oh yeah, and my wife's grandma has a parakeet that sits on our dining room table and scatters crap and chirps all stinking day. I would hate for some untimely thing to happen to that poor rascal. It would be terrible, and I don't know that I could bear it. All right. Here we go for third pass. Alright, we're going to stop right there. I could probably use a touch up, but I'm not going to mess with it today. I think it's going to be alright. Just rinse it off and get some of this good smelling aftershave on. I really got no complaints over that shave. Not as close as I would like it, but knock the whiskers off nonetheless. We are at, oh gosh, 23 minutes. Way too long. Alrighty. And that's a pretty green color. Man. It's hard for me to pick out notes on this. It's such a nice, just a chord of scents. But it's, I know I keep saying it, and this is how I explain it. It's just like, you know, insert your favorite classic cologne, and you're trying to get your buddy to use it, and he uses it, and he's like, oh yeah, I see why people have always loved this. That's what this scent reminds me of, something that is familiar but new at the same time. I know that makes no sense, but that's kind of what I get out of it. Let me get off here and let y'all go. This has been way too long. Let me recap first, I reckon. So today we used Nepeek from the Cajun Blade. Used the Cajun Blade's Bayou butter for the pre-shave. And this is a Timothy Abernathy special. Very pretty brush, I think, and goes pretty good with the aftershave. And then we use the Boker 6/8 Black Widow, as Jack calls it. Anyway, I'll get off here and let y'all go. Thank you for stopping by and sharing your time with me. And Lord willing, we'll see y'all next week. I'll get off here. Thanks a bunch. We'll see you. Bye.